In this video, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a Honda powered lawnmower that will not run unless it's kind of on partial choke. As soon as the choke turns off, it just dies. Before I jump into this video, I hope you consider subscribing, give the video a like, and leave any comments down below. First thing we want to do is shut the gas off. Open up the air filter box. Looks brand new. And we got to remove these 3 bolts to get to the carburetor. And it's got to remove this. There is a tube from on the back that comes from the blow-by on the engine. So you got to unhook that. And there is your carburetor. You just got to get in there. Got to disconnect the fuel line. And then we got to remove the linkage off the top of the carburetor. Make it a little easier to get in there. We're gonna just loosen up this piece. Just kind of get it out of the way. There we go. All right, next we're gonna clean this carburetor up. Looks pretty dirty on the outside, not the end of the world, but see what's going on in the inside. Gas coming out. Bowl looks clean. Remove your pin, your float, and your needle. Take the main jet out. My toolbox is rolling away on me while I'm recording. Loose in there. It's trying to come out. All right, it finally came out. So now I'm just taking a wire that I have and I'm running it through the main jet. Blows a little bit of air through it and I should be able to see the pinhole through it. It's kind of hard to do on camera. There it is. It's nice and clear now. Same thing with the emulsion tube. There's all these little pinhole things that you just got to go with this little wire and go through each one. Make sure it's not clogged up. All right, got that clean. Now I'm just going to take the carburetor and spray carburetor clean through it. You got, right down here, back here, just looking for anywhere that there's a passageway. It needs to be cleaned. All right, once you got it cleaned, you just got to put it back together the way you took it apart. And put your float and your needle back in. Sometimes that needle does not want to stay on the float, so be patient with it. Remember to put your little bar back in through the float. It holds it all in place here. Put your ball back on. And then put the nut back on that holds it all together. All right, so putting this back together can actually be a little bit tricky. We're going to start with the linkage. Put the spring back in. Hook your fuel line back up. So this is the fun part. The bolts have to go through this plastic piece all the way into there, and the challenge is getting it all lined up. So then you gotta get this piece through. Then you gotta get your gasket, put that on. Then you gotta go through the carburetor. Then when you get through the carburetor, you got this other piece here. Gotta get that on. Then you got your hose that comes off the bypass for the oil. You gotta get that hooked up. So you got that all put together. All right, so once you have everything all together there, you also have to worry about this choke piece. This is a manual choke, so this thing moves back and forth, and depending on where it's at, choke is on or off. So on top of the carburetor is the choke, so this lever has to be in the right position when you put this back together. So once you kind of have it back on, you got these bolts started, take your choke and make sure when you put it on that the choke comes on. And then when it goes off, choke goes off. And what I'm doing is I'm looking right down at the top of the carburetor through this hole to know if it's moving the right way. We put our bolt back in that holds this plate in place. And then we also have our one other bolt right here we need to put back in. All right, now we just need to put the air filter back on and we're gonna start up and see what happens.